what really needs, I've got a lot of ideas. I'm a pro-family person, I'm a pro-gun person. But you can't get these ideas enacted. If you've seen what's going on in Albany, you know that none of these ideas are being enacted. They're not even being talked about. You can't do it unless you put somebody up there who will do it. That's what I would like to do. I would like to try. And I've told people I believe in terms. 2 terms, 3 terms. I can't do it, but somebody else. And I'll help. But I think we all realize we can't keep going the way we're going. And unfortunately, there are too many people I'm watching for re-election this year. It's the same old, same old. Meet the new boss, same as the old boss. The definition of insanity, which you all know. Elect that same person over and over and expect something different, doesn't happen. They're all party people, they're all in the box, and we see what happened in their state. We're on the verge of saying less than 12 months, it's bankruptcy. Can we afford it? Are you upset? Do you know how to fix it? I'll bet everyone in here has one idea on how to fix New York State. And I'll bet every idea is a good one. And I'll bet every idea is never going to talk about it all day because they don't care. So I hope, I won't be too negative, I hope I can be positive, I can be a positive person that will go up there for you and do what needs to be done. I'll take any questions.
Dave, you spoke about cutting this tax and that tax. That's the income side. Where do you see the biggest pot for cutting spending with the state does?
Welfare and Medicaid, clarify that. Eliminate, first thing I do, eliminate 50% of the authorities in the first 6 months. Gone. You'll take out probably, I don't know how many, $1 billion or $2 billion right there. You got to cut your spending, that's the first place to start. Cool. Cutting your welfare board, you can say, I think it's $1.5 billion. Just by enacting that law saying 1-year residency, stop. That's the first. Those are the first 2 things I would do on the spending side. But you got to start. But you got to start cutting things. Yeah, you got to cut your spending, but you also have to start cutting these programs that are killing us. Once you start shrinking government, okay, why does it cost us twice as much to run New York State as it does Ohio and Pennsylvania? Okay? They're 2 cold weather states. They're right next to us. They offer the same services. Why does California have, I think, 3 times the population, 2 times the population in New York State? Yet for the first time in their history, their budget hit $100 billion. And you see what happened to them? And our budget's $132 to $140 billion now. It's ridiculous. It's crazy. We can't sustain it. Anybody else?
Hey, Mr. Roy, you said you negotiated with your unions. Did you make a plan to do that with the New York State unions? Try to negotiate?
I would like to sit on some of those CSEA, SEIU. Yes, I'd love to sit on those negotiations. Especially, first off, you have to have a plan of action. Go ahead. And I was listening to the radio today, and to the furlough. You were listening to the furlough response. Okay, the unions all went, no way. And I thought Patterson, I'll give him credit on this, he hit it on the head. He said, you know what? They don't even want to come to the table. Yet every other New York State private citizen is suffering, losing their job, getting pay cuts, getting laid off a day a week. Yet they won't even, he said, we're doing this because I haven't been able to even get them to the table to talk about anything. Even a wage freeze. They won't accept it. That's ridiculous in this time. Private citizens are hurting. Everybody should share. Just because you have a union job doesn't mean you automatically get a 3% pay increase when the rest of the state's falling apart. We all have to share the pain. And I think it's a travesty that they don't come to the table and talk about it. Because you know what? I've talked to a lot of rank and file union people who work the day-to-day jobs. And they said they would be willing. They said, we know what's going on. We'd be willing to not take a pay hike. but the leadership won't let them. That's a tragedy.
So, Dave, that's a problem, but, are you, because the unions with the municipalities and the state and all that, they know you can't close and move something. And that's the big hammer they hold over everybody, is that if they don't want to negotiate or change the contract, they don't have to. What's the incentive to have them do? How do you propose to change that mentality? I mean, that they can just walk away from that. It's stupid. I mean, because you can't, that's why General Motors out in Tonawanda got the union to work with them, because that plant was slated to close 20 years ago. And they got to work with them, and now they're getting more work. Municipalities, the state, the unions say, no, I'm not going to negotiate. Look at the public teachers.
You can do what I did in East Aurora. When I left East Aurora after 6 years, I left the village. I was the only elected official in Western New York to leave government with less employees than when we started. 15% less. I'd like to see the state do that. Maybe we do it by attrition. Okay? Maybe we tell the unions, well, you know what, there's going to be effective layoffs. It's not going to be furloughs, it's going to be layoffs. Permanent. There's a lot of ways to do it. I did it in East Aurora. We can do it in the state. It's the same. It's one government, it's just a bigger government. I negotiated with 4 different unions. That was personal. I sat down with them, and I was able, there wasn't any animosity. I went down, I told them what we had to do. Here's where we're at as a village. Here's our fiscal, here's our finances, and this is what I would like to achieve. I need your help to do it. And I didn't have to get really hardball with any of them. They said, okay, well, what, we it was a give and take. How's it going to affect? Well, one of the unions said, well, you're not losing any jobs. One union lost, I think, 5. But one of the unions, I said, you want to keep all your members employed? This is what we're going to have to do. There's ways to do it. But you need, I think, you need someone up there with backbone who's going to say, look, this is how it's going to be. This is what we need to do, and you can help work with us. If you don't want to work with us, there is an alternative. Now, why do we want to get to that point? I had a friend of mine is just at Christmas time, he came in here, and he's a drywall. And he came in and he said that the owner of the company came in and said that because of what's going on in the state and locally, and he's non-union, said there's no business. There's 300 employees, and you're going to have to give up all of your holiday pay. Okay, you don't want to afford to pay for holidays. You can take Christmas off and Labor Day and 4th of July, but I can't pay you for it. The alternative is to lose jobs. And they said, okay, they voted on it. They said, we'll accept that as a union. Okay, we understand. And they know it because they know the jobs. And when they're not working, when they're sitting there for 2 weeks at a time at home, there's no phone calls, they just make a call, they know everybody else isn't working, there's no jobs, they know the guy doesn't have money to pay them.